hockey hall. This afternoon's game features the visiting Hillary Pioneers against the home team, the Hermantown Hawks. Now let's meet the starting lineups. First, representing the Metro East Conference with a season record of 1 win, 0 losses, and no ties, the Hillary Pioneers. Starting at goal, number 33, senior Jack Erickson. Starting on defense, number 19, sophomore Graham Greenberg. Starting on defense, number 20, sophomore Landon Cunningham. Starting at forward, number 17, sophomore Bowden Sandberg. Starting at forward, number 12, senior Caden Sandberg. And starting at center, number 8, junior Simon Seidel. Now let's welcome the rest of the Pioneers assistant coaches are Pat Schlafhauser, Mike Ball, goalie coach Tony Flint, head coach Bill Lecter. And now the starting lineup, representing the Lake Superior Conference with a season record of 1 win, 0 losses, and 2 ties, the Hermantown Hawks. Starting at goal, number 31, senior Darren Upsall. Starting on defense, number 9, junior Will Esterbrooks. Starting on defense, number 22, senior George Peterson. Starting at forward, number 4, senior Wyatt Carlson. Starting at forward, number 11, senior Cade Kovensky. And starting at center, number 24, junior Dallas Pugh. Now let's welcome up the rest of the Hermantown Hawks. Hawks assistant coaches are Nick Buck, Chad Huddle, Greg Baker, Jason Lundquist, goalie coach Matt Swanson, head coach Patrick Andrews. Ladies and gentlemen, we will ask you now to please stand as you are able to look at caps for the playing of the Star Spangled Banner.
Back at the Eden Prairie Community Center, we have game number 2 and today's action, game last in the Champions Cup for 2022. The Hill Murray Pioneers and Hermantown Hawks, both teams undefeated. As we get ready to start this contest with Will Peterson, Jeff Pappas with you for the last game as the Hawks get ready to start. They make a change in goal today. Garen Opsall getting the start, Will, and there's a guy who, as well as Dane Calloway played, Garen Opsall had better numbers last year.
Upsall, kind of an interesting story. As a sophomore, he took the ropes over for this Hermantown team, one of the first sophomore starters for Hermantown in some time. Junior season, Dane Calloway comes in, steals the spotlight, takes over the primary starting job. But Garen Upsall, 9-0 last year, a .95 goals against, .913 save percentage, set 2 MSHSL records for both consecutive shutouts and shutout minutes. And he has the chance to earn back the #1 job here this season, and he's got tough tests in these Hill Murray Pioneers.
You know, Hermantown doesn't have a whole lot to worry about in terms of its team structure and ability to contend, and goal is probably the thing that they're the most comfortable with, I would expect. With two goaltenders like they've got, they are set between the pipes. For Hill Murray, Brimsek Trophy candidate Jack Erickson, 23 saves on 24 shots yesterday in Hill Murray's win over Eden Prairie. Goals against average, obviously 1.00. We are underway here in our last game of the Champions Cup, and Hermantown in possession in the near zone. Will Esterbrooks plays towards the line, and Wyatt Carlson, who missed yesterday's game due to a suspension, plays it into the zone, but the suspension came from playing baseball. Will, you mentioned yesterday, and good to have him back.
Yeah, plowed the catcher during a playoff game. The MSHSL doesn't look too fondly upon that, but he's back, and he's going to be a big piece of this Hawks offense here today. Play
behind the Hermantown goal, and it's swung around behind the net by George Peterson, yesterday's player of the game for Youth Hockey Hub in the 6-3 win over Cretin-Derham Hall for this Hermantown squad, the defending Class A champions, as it's played back into their zone, and Hermantown gets control. Played up to the near side, and Wyatt Carlson tips it in, heads for the bench on a change. Now behind the goal, Graham Greeter, who scored yesterday in his varsity debut for Hill Murray. Puck played towards the right point, held by Drew Nelson at the right point for Hermantown. Now loose to the wall and cleared rink wide to the near side. Here comes Hill Murray. Ben Miller playing at the center, and over the line comes Cullen Ingebretson, number 10. And now played down, and the Pioneers look for some space. Ben Miller to the high slot, tries to throw it towards the net. Opsahl standing waiting, but never got to him as Drew Nelson clears it back out to center ice. Pioneers back on the right. This is Miller. Trickles towards the goal. Opsahl, he put it right on the stick of the crashing Hill Murray player Ingebretson. I think he was a little surprised that the puck wound up right there and he didn't get a shot away. Now Luger backtracking for the Pioneers. Plays it over to the left side and is controlled in the corner. One touch off the wall. They break it out to center ice through Lucas Mann, the number 1 line center in yesterday's game. Now played behind the goal, and Luger again. Starts up, and then his outlet pass is picked off, but Braden Hogue carries on for Hill Murray. And at center, he will rink wide it into the Hermantown zone. We're 2 minutes gone in the first period. Hawks back for it, and here's Weston Bowman feeding the far side boards. River Freeman, number 23. Now Nolan Barker back behind the net, and the Hawks will try to break out up the left. And the Pioneers free it up, and there's a shot by Jude Bonin that winds up climbing high over the top of the net. Rebound caroms through to the near side, and the Pioneers will control there as Madigan going behind the net. And Mason Sunbaum tied up there by Bonham. Puck comes to the far wall. Players from both teams in, and now Hermantown deals with that. A pass to center ice on the wrong side of Ford Skida, and here comes Hill Murray again over the line. Seth Klepak put it in front, and it's picked off. Here come the Hawks back. And over the line, Dallas View over the line. He shoots and he missed Erickson's net. It rings the dasher and comes down. And now finally poked out to center, and here comes Hill Murray again. And this is Samper, Caden Samper shooting it in. He scored a goal yesterday for Hill Murray as well. And it turned out to be the decisive one in that 2-1 victory over Eden Prairie. Picked up now by Bodie Samper in the right corner. Tried to pull it back, picked off there by View. And now Hermantown will break out through center ice. Dallas View over the line, takes a shot, blocker pad save Erickson, and the rebound is cleared to Greeter in the right corner. A reverse up the wall. It's going to be held in there by Esterbrooks, and now fed into the circle. Hawks trying to come in front, and Bodie Samper will clear to the wall and finally out to center. Laying it into the Hermantown zone, poke checked away, and here's Dallas View. Rink wide to the near side for Carlson. Over the line, 3.5 minutes gone in the first period, taken out against the boards by Landon Cottingham. A centering pass goes off Matthew Kalpanen. Comes to the right point, Nelson. Over to the near side, Henry Peterson. Playing it behind the goal, and picked up there by Greeter. And he gives it to Cottingham, and now Hill Murray trying to get up the wall and can't. And Aaron Evian trying to come in front, and he's broken up there by Seidel for Hill Murray. Now played it out to center ice, Caden Samper. Plays it in, heads for the bench on a change as Bodie Samper forces it deep, and now Nelson for Hermantown rings the net. Hawks come through the middle, down to the near side.
Kalpman long shot on glove down by Erickson. That's our first whistle of the game there, Jeff.
It is, and we're going to face off in the Hill Murray zone, 12:44 to go.
Yeah, 4:16 in, just kind of a track meet of sorts here in the early going, both sides really stretching it out. A couple little rushes going either way, not a ton of grade A chances outside of the one that Upsall gave up on his own stick. Again, a really interesting goaltending battle for Hermantown coming into this year.
And the referee would like the two wings on the near side to step back a little bit before they drop this puck again. And now behind the net, the Pioneers gain control. Fed across, held in at the right point, and a shot knocked down by Erickson from the right point by Drew Nelson. Now loose to the half wall, players from both teams in. It dribbles to the high slot, now controlled by Hill Murray as they break out. It's controlled by Lucas Mann playing to the right for Miller. And now Mann going back after it. He's sandwiched there by two white-shirted Hawks. Puck to the near side boards. Nelson trying to dig it out, but lost out to Nelson. Went around behind the net. 5 minutes gone in the first period. Scoreless here from Eden Prairie. Last game of the Champions Cup 2022. And here's Ben Miller over the line. Miller leaves a drop pass, and a weak shot by Luger doesn't get through, and now Hermantown breaks through the middle. And then Peterson ridden off by Luger, who came back nicely. Now shot ahead by Ford Skyda, and it'll ring the boards. Go around behind the net, and Hill Murray after it there with Braden Hogan, the left corner. Now it runs to the front of the net, and Luger tips it off to the wall. Held in by Henry Peterson, but only briefly. And it comes out to center. Now down the wing, this is Luger over the line, trying to thread one through for Miller in a backhand, and he's in deep, takes a shot, and it didn't get through to Opsahl actually. Now fed off to the right boards. Miller banks it off the boards. Here's a shot, and that one's over the top as Matt Whistler comes in and blazes one over the top. Here's Bowman behind the net for Hermantown. Bowman banks it off the boards, and now it's loose in the slot area. Finally fed out to center ice. Here's Klepak controlling for Hill Murray up the near wing. Jackson Reeves will play it on in. And it goes back to the left corner where it's controlled by Sunbound. Puck loose in the left corner of the Hermantown zone as we played 6 minutes of the first period. Now Kohansky plays it ahead, and that's going to run back into the Hill Murray end. Hermantown's getting a change. 10:45 left in the opening period. Passed up the near side for Reeves for Hill Murray. Carrying on is Bodie Samper. And now it's going to come back in the left corner of the Hawk zone, and Bowman will ring the net. Bowman comes out the near side, headman pass, and it's picked up and carried over the line by Dallas View, but he's forced wide. Goes into the corner, View behind the Hill Murray net, comes out the left side, centers it. Nice idea there, but the Hawks can't get it to connect, and Caden Samper down the near wing will shoot it in and head after it. Carry him off the inboards to Esterbrooks. He takes it around on the right side, and Hermantown comes right back. Like the pace of this game, Will, as it comes over the line. And it's picked up now by Esterbrooks behind the net. Finally, he runs into some trouble, comes to the near side, and it's going to come off the wall. Who's got it? Now for the Pioneers, it's played back down by Klepak behind the goal. And now on the far side, it's Jack Blissenbach, number 21, playing it, as Hill Murray giving some players who didn't get a lot of ice time against Eden Prairie some shifts here in the first period. Puck runs through to the far side. Whistler goes after it along with Matthew Kalpinen. Now behind the net, here's Evian trying to center it, goes behind the net. And here's Evian again shooting, and Erickson makes the save. Best chance for Hermantown so far. Now Henry Peterson feeds the circle. Centering pass comes to the high slot. Here's a shot that's deflected over the glass and out of play off the stick of George Peterson.
Blazing pace here so far, Jeff. And yesterday, Hermantown off to a really slow start, down 3-1 early. Then the first 10 minutes. I don't know how much of that, now that you see how this one's developing, you can just attribute to Cretin-Derham Hall having a game under their legs. And Hermantown coming in fresh, and obviously a much more even paced here now that both teams have had a game.
Nice move on the right by Mann, who comes in for the Pioneers, tries to center, and it's in skates and comes to the near boards there. Players from both teams in. Miller trying to squeegee the puck out of there. Now it does come to the far side, and it's controlled by Peterson in the right corner. Now played towards the line, and it does dribble out to center. Pioneers get possession. Hawks on a change. And now it's shot in rink wide on the near side by Greeter. And behind the net, Opsahl will set it up there for Drew Nelson to the far boards, and it's going to leak out to the high slot. Madigan plays it around behind the net. And Nelson goes in against the boards, feeds the half wall on the near side, and Ford Skyda goes behind the net. Hermantown will now break out up the middle. Down the wing, Ford Skyda comes over the line, and he had his pass blocked by Reeves, and Hill Murray comes back. Pass to center ice, and over the line they come. And they stay on side as Lucas Mann throws it in front. It's loose there, but steered to safety by Bowman behind the net. And the Hawks clear it out to center ice. Cottingham Madigan in the center circle, 8:15 to go. Madigan from the red line, backhands it in, and Opsahl will set it up behind the net. Back forth there is Barker. Clear to the near side, Skida for Hermantown. He plays it to center ice, and the Hawks break out 1 against 2. They're changing, though. Freeman plays it in, and his line mates now will come on and join him as Hill Murray comes to center ice. Here's a lead pass for Jude Bonin. It's offside on the right, as coming in early was Jackson Reeves.
Yeah, blazing pace here early on. Both sides really opening up the ice and letting it all go with the coming back of Wyatt Carlson. Really just gives that Hawks offense that already scored 6 goals yesterday, 6 different scores, gives them that extra layer of depth. Josh Kelpman had a great game yesterday, gets moved back down to the second line. River Freeman back down to the third line for the Hawks.
Play on the near side, controlled by Esterbrooks at center ice, and he plays it into the zone, kept his balance and the puck. That's a nice play. Now loose in front, drop pass is intercepted though, and Reeves will carry it for Hill Murray. They break out 3 wide with a trailer over the line, and they can't control it. Back come the Hawks. Kohanski down the wing, and that's a neat play by Luger to knock him off the puck. Comes to the corner, runs to the circle, and here's Madigan.
Penalty here.
Yep, it sure is.
Kohanski was impeded that time. I think it's going to be a hook.
And we'll get the first power play of the game coming, and hooking is indeed indicated at the 9:36 mark of the opening period.
Now we get to see this high-powered Hermantown power play. Last year, 42%. This year, so far, they're 2 for 3. 2 big goals last night against Cretin Durham Hall, and they also returned that component, Wyatt Carlson. Huge part of this Hawks man advantage.
Luger penalized for Hill Murray. And the first power play of the game goes to the Hawks. On the near side, George Peterson plays it up the slot. Esterbrooks over to the right side, now gets it back on a saucer pass. Esterbrooks back over to the far side. Hooking is the penalty as Dallas View has the puck in the high slot. He closes, View in the circle. Now he centers it, it comes right up the slot. Here's a drive, it's blocked down off Esterbrooks and cleared.
Now this power play / penalty kill is really strength on strength for these two teams. Bill Lechner's teams always have some of the best penalty kills in the state, and the same can be said for Pat Andrews' Hermantown Hawks.
Hill Murray, a traditionally excellent penalty killing team. We'll see how this plays out. Over the line, here's a pass that's offside as Esterbrooks carries it in with a man trapped, and we'll get a draw with 6:40 to go in the first, 1:17 to go in the power play.
Yeah, really polar opposite of the game for Hermantown yesterday. That one was a shootout. For Hill Murray, kind of more of the same. They got too early, however, yesterday, and I would wager to say that should this game continue at this pace, it would favor Hermantown. If Hill Murray can kind of slow it down, play their more physical brand of hockey, it will only benefit them.
At center ice, Esterbrooks drops it back to Peterson. And George Peterson feeds it over. And now View. Puck loose at neutral ice as a hit thrown there by Jude Bonin. Comes over the line, and now George Peterson feeds it down to the far side for Kohanski. Behind the net, centering pass, just a step slow there was George Peterson. The puck winds up going out of play.
You're not the best of power plays for the Hawks. When the Hawks power plays at their best, it's quick puck movement. A lot of backdoor looks. We saw Dallas View score on a backdoor yesterday. And one of the characteristics of these Bill Lechner teams, they really like that high guy to be incredibly active. Limit the lateral passing between the point and the half walls, and that's become evident here today. Really, really nice penalty kill so far.
Face-off coming to the right of the Hill Murray goal. It's going to be fed to the wall and finally to the left point as Barker plays it down. It's going to run to the corner, and Hill Murray will get a chance to pin it against the boards and kill a few more seconds. 39 in the power play, but the Hawks get possession, and they clear rink wide to the far side. Now cleared by Lucas May on the length of the ice. 30 seconds left in the power play, 5:52 to go in a quick-moving first period here in our second game. And the puck down in the area behind the Hawks net. They'll come to the near side, and here's Evian. Over the line. Evian puts on a move in the circle, tried to throw it. It comes up the slot. Here's a shot. And I thought that had gotten behind Erickson. It turns out that it wound up into the netting. Going out of play. It looked better than I think it ended for Barker.
Yeah, that's a really nice move there by Aaron Evian to bypass the defense, ends up leaving it back for Barker. Evian's been really active off the score sheet so far here this year. He rang the iron last night, had the first Hawks scoring chance here today. He's been really active.
13 seconds of power play time left for the Hawks. Seidel will face off against Matthew Kalpanen, and it comes back to Barker. Swings it across to the right point there for Nelson. Far circle, and they will work the puck around. Here's Matthew Kalpanen. He goes back down, gets it back on a return pass as Hill Murray comes back to full strength. There's a shot that goes wide of the goal from Drew Nelson. And Hill Murray is killed off the penalty. Centering pass is sticked away there by Whistler. And it now comes up the wall to the near side and out to center. And here comes Seidel with a full head of steam. He's quick over the line. Seidel going in. He centers it, and smashing into the goaltender there is Bodie Samper, and we'll get a face-off as the net gets dislodged.
Upsall getting up now. I think he's going to end up being all right. Yeah, it was Bodie Samper crashing inside. One of the top newcomers for this Hill Murray squad. Both the Sampers really going to have big roles, with Hill Murray losing 8 of their top 9 scorers last year. They won third at state, and they need a couple of their forwards to step up and replicate that kind of production that they lost.
Faceoff comes outside as Samper is responsible for the net coming off. 5 minutes to go in the first period, and Bodie Samper plays it in. Esther Brooks controls and feeds. That's going to wind up in the Hermantown bench for a stoppage. Just under 5 to go.
We've talked a lot about Upsall so far here tonight, not so much about Jack Erickson, who's had quite a game yesterday, probably the favorite to win the Frank Brimzek Award. And it's going to take, we already saw Hawks power play, it's going to take more than that to beat Erickson. You got to either isolate him in a 2-on-1 or really force some kind of traffic in front.
Shot by Klepak off the faceoff goes wide to the right of the Hawks goal as the goalie looks at it. And here comes Dallas View over the line. His drop pass is picked off by Seidel, who will take it behind the goal. Comes with the near side off a stick laying on the ice. Puck runs free, and here comes Hill Murray back. Here is Samper. Caden Samper over the line in the circle on his backhand. He's forced behind the net. It's back checked by Peterson, and now Samper trying to find the point and can't. 4:20 to go in the first, and here come the Hawks out. And George Peterson plays it on into the zone, and he heads for the bench on a change. Hermantown gaining possession in the Hill Murray end of the rink. Now it's fed to the left point. And here's Esterbrook shooting, and a save by Erickson, who knocked it over the glass. And we'll get a face-off in the Hill Murray zone.
Will Esterbrook, someone that's being looked to replicate the kind of production that they lose in Ty Hansen and Bo Janzig. Hansen having departed for the USHL. Janzig graduated. Esterbrook scored last night on the power play, zone entry on the right-hand side. Nice little slap shot there, almost beat the blocker side of Erickson.
Face off to the right of Erickson, 4:08 left in the first period. And he remains scoreless, and now man is dismissed. Face off controlled by the Pioneers behind the goal. And down the left they come. Hard-working team as always, and they are just barely onside as they hit the line. And Gunderson plays it back out to center and then turned and shot in by Braden Hogue. Chasing after it behind the goal is Bowman for Hermantown. Now Gunderson along the wall tried to play it ahead and a rink wide out to center ice. And now Luger plays it back in with less than 4 minutes to go in the period. Mann disrupting behind the net will gain possession in the corner. Looks to center it and finally picked up by Gunderson in the circle. And Hermantown's able to lug it to center ice. Skyda will shoot it in and then he peels off and heads for the bench. Here's Sunbaum. He's in and he takes a hit from Luger. Puck free at the right edge and now cleared back by Mann. To safety along the wall. Now Mann breaks out to center. Here comes Hill Murray. Ingebretson over the line, and he has a tough time with 2 defensemen back there, but Ingebretson stayed with it. Goes after the puck, picked up there by Miller. Centers up the slot. They score! Jude Bonin snuck in behind the defense, took a perfect drop pass from Ben Miller, and he beat Opsahl high, and Hill Murray leads it 1-0.
Bonin makes the play happen, but really the instigator for all of it is Cullen Ingebretson. He enters the zone, draws 2 defenders with him, and even though he's in a 1-on-2, doesn't just dump it in, carries it into the corner, allows Miller to infiltrate the play. Miller is able to wrap it around, center it out in front. Jude Bonin puts us home. That's his first varsity goal. It's Hill Murray 1, Hermantown 0.
Boy, that was a nicely executed play, and Bonin with a quick stick tap, letting his teammates know where he was. Played on into the Hermantown zone, less than 3 minutes to go. And Ingebretson, as you mentioned, Will, gets the second helper on that goal. And now it comes to the right point. Cottingham feeding the circle with 2:40 to go in the period. Here's a shot. Opsahl saves. Rebound chance. Opsahl another stop. Loose once, twice. And a mad scramble. And finally, Jackson Reeves is the last one to touch the puck. And now there's a hog pile in the Hermantown crease. that they'll sort out with 2:32 left.
I tell you what, Jeff, I don't know about you, but I don't think Jude Bonnet entirely caught that puck cleanly, fluttering a little bit on its way to the top corner. I think that almost caught Upsall more off guard than the shot itself. Didn't quite have the same perceived trajectory, perhaps. With 2:32 left, they're going to have to redo the whole net here.
So the hockey equivalent of a change of pace catches Upsall unawares, and we'll have a face-off outside. 2:32 to go in the first period, 1-0, and for the second straight game, Hermantown allows the first goal.
Now you wonder if playing with the lead is going to enhance Bill Lechner's style of play, very structured defensively. And now that they have the lead, they can afford to be a little bit more conservative.
Played behind the net, and Peterson fades it ahead. Carlson over skates and has to come back for it. 2:20 to go in the period. Carlson over to the right, and it's going to be shot on into the Hill Murray zone. Erickson sets it up at the left of the goal and cleared up the wall. Now behind the net, Hermantown, Joshua Koppinen now fed. Here's View trying to find it. Madigan goes after it. Now loose to the corner, controlled by Kohanski. Into the circle, and he couldn't get by Madigan, who pokes it out to center. And now here's a race down the left wing. Cottingham is shouldered off nicely by George Peterson. Hermantown controls at center ice, and it's picked up by Kohanski. Over the line, shot in by View. That'll ring the boards, and he heads for the bench on a change as Cottingham is going to go for interference. As he wound up taking his man, Ford Skida, into the boards, and he didn't have the puck, so it's going to be a power play for Hermantown. Interference penalty coming at the 15-20 mark.
Ford Skida, the F1 on that forecheck, really good work. Now he's getting props on the bench. He's the one that instigates that play. Full effort makes him, and him being Ingebrigtsen, check that, Cottingham forces him into the corner. Now the Hawks power play has another chance.
And the face-off won by the Pioneers. They clear it the length of the ice to start off. Without a goal, there'll be about 20 seconds of carryover into the second period here. Less than 90 seconds to go in the first period, and Hermantown will pick it up. View passing over to the right side. Now George Peterson over the line, loose there, and Esther Brooks backtracks, and we get a whistle. We'll get a stoppage with 1:16 left now in period number one. And as Will gears up for play-by-play in period two, see if you have a power play to carry over, or if you will be looking at a Hawks goal before the first intermission.
We shall see, indeed. I'm looking forward to it, Jeff.
Now controlled by Whistler, fed over to the near side and cleared the length of the ice by Klepak, who's getting obviously penalty kill time here. Cleared all the way down the ice with just over a minute to go in the first period. Esther Brooks takes it behind the goal. We have 1 minute to play, and here comes View. Pass over to the near side. Carlson hits the Hill Murray line, passes across, and that's going to be deflected out by Jude Bonin. And then he steals the puck. Now Bonin over the line. He fires, and a big rebound off. Opsall is steered away to the corner with 43 seconds to go, and Esther Brooks has it behind the goal, so no damage done there, but a nice play by Jude Bonin on a couple of fronts there. Comes to center ice, and now Wyatt Carlson. He runs into Bonin and has some trouble. 30 seconds to go in the period. Hawks have possession. This is George Peterson at the red line, leaves it to the left for Esther Brooks and a delayed entry. Now over to the near side. View at the left point. Back down. Esther Brooks works towards the high slot and leaves it there. Here's George Peterson shooting. Stick save by Erickson. Rebound. They come around and try to wrap it around. Loose at the right edge. And it's picked up there by Klepak with 8 seconds to go in the period. Trying to go behind the goal, and now it's centered. It comes all the way through between the point men, and that'll do it for the first period. We have played one here from Eden Prairie, and Hill Murray leads Hermantown 1-0.
Hill Murray really controlled the first, I would say, 6 or so minutes of the first. And then the tide kind of shifted back over to the Hermantown side until that goal from Jude Bonin, and then Hill Murray more empowered to play their very distinct defensive brand of hockey. And they do a fairly fine job killing off a couple of Hawks penalties, granted, or a couple Hill Murray penalties, 20 seconds of carryover time into the second period here.
All right, let's take a break. Come back with our second period next. 1-0 Hill Murray after one here on the Youth Hockey Hub.
But from the get-go, it was, hey, we're going to be a source of good in the community, and we got the Keystone program that we give away 10% of our profits.
It's such a core value is the philanthropic piece of this, and whether it's Hope Kids or ETS or Whispers of Hope, the Grief Club. Basically, it set out that this is something that it's a part of what you do, and everyone has a lot of buy-in and is very excited to do it.
With an injection, we're usually trying to minimize inflammation or block a nerve to prevent it from sending a signal somewhere that causes you pain. So we're not actually masking any of the symptoms or the problem, but we are trying to improve the inflammation or block the pain signal so that people can feel relief.
Brewpub Lots of Matzo pizzas are made in the heart of America's Dairyland, Kaukauna, Wisconsin. Every Brewpub pizza is made with the highest quality meat and veggie toppings. Then bombarded with over half a pound of award-winning Wisconsin mozzarella cheese. Snag a slice of Brewpub pizza at the concession stand or enjoy a whole pizza conveniently located in the frozen pizza section of your local grocery store. Brewpub Lots of Matzo pizzas, the ingredients for a great time.
I think a force for good is kind of just what it sounds like. We wake up every day, go to work, try to do the best we can, but also have in the back of our head that we're going to help people and try to make a difference in people's lives.
While it's important to do things for others, it's how you go about doing that day in and day out. That's the whole thing. That's the whole thing about one team. I don't care who you are in this company. Everybody has an opportunity to make a difference and contribute to the whole piece of the pie of what we're trying to do.
Stress fractures in the foot, generally the pain is on the top of the foot. There may or may not be much in the way of swelling, but there's usually tenderness, meaning that if you push on the area, it is sore to touch. So if you've had a change in activity, been doing a little bit more and developed pain that hurts when you walk or certainly hurts more when you try to run on it, that's concerning for a stress fracture. Sometimes those can be seen on x-ray, sometimes it requires an MRI to decide whether or not there is a stress fracture there.
Jack's Cafe has been extending warm hospitality with a focus on great food for almost 100 years. Located in historic Northeast Minneapolis, Jack's has been a great venue for hockey banquets, corporate parties, weddings, and groom's dinners. With private rooms of any size, guests can have that great Jack's experience for 2 or 200. See you at Jack's.
Brewpub Lots of Matzo pizzas are made in the heart of America's Dairyland, Kaukauna, Wisconsin. Every Brewpub pizza is made with the highest quality meat and veggie toppings. Then bombarded with over half a pound of award-winning Wisconsin mozzarella cheese. Snag a slice of Brewpub pizza at the concession stand or enjoy a whole pizza conveniently located in the frozen pizza section of your local grocery store. Brewpub Lots of Matzo pizzas, the ingredients for a great time.
At Eden Prairie Community Centers, we're ready for the second period. And the Hermantown Hawks come out. Shots on goal in the first period favored Hermantown Hill Murray by 8-7, and the only goal of the period is Bonan's. Jude Bonan at the 13:54 mark. 20 seconds of carryover play-by-play. I'm getting ahead of myself. Penalty here, and that's what's left on Cottingham's interference penalty. And for play-by-play, which is what I meant to say, over to Will Peterson.
Thank you, Jeff.
You're welcome.
Hermantown will be skating from left to right this period. Garen Upsall reclaims his position in goal. Hermantown wearing their road whites with the blue lettering and gold trim stretching from right shoulder to left hip. Hill Murray with Jack Erickson in goal with their road, we'll call him a Kelly green with the white lettering and black trim. Both teams attacking towards their benches this period. They'll have the long change.
Look at some other scores we got trickling in here. White Bear Lake and Centennial are tied 3-3 after 2 periods of play.
And Hermantown will see Centennial next Saturday. It's their next matchup, and I'll have that call in the Youth Hockey Hub. I believe is a 3 o'clock start at the Centennial Ice Arena. Should be a good one.
And Cloquet Esco Carleton over Bloomington Jefferson, which 30 years ago would have been a state tournament matchup. It's 1-0 in that game, playing at the Lumber Dome up in Cloquet as we get ready for the second period.
Cade Kohansky against Simon Seidel on the face-off dots. And the second period underway here from Eden Prairie on the Youth Hockey Hub. Face-off, one cleanly played for Peterson, now Dallas View circles. View near the center circle, gives it for Esterbrook. Zone entry, right-hand side, drop past Kohansky. Dishes it for Peterson. Peterson shot, nice glove save, made Jack Erickson.
Doesn't seem to get rattled by much, does he? Jack Erickson with a cool as the underside of the pillow, as the late Stuart Scott would have said. But never the feeling that he's anything less than in control.
Cool, calm, and collected is Jack Erickson. And now as the penalty expires, Hill Murray gets the clear. And Landon Cottingham returns to the ice. Drop pass there, dangerously close to the goaltender Upsall. But Peterson will cycle it back around for Kohansky. Trying to flip it, disarmed that time by Samper, that being Bodie Samper. And now Wyatt Carlson behind the net now. Carlson shakes his man Seidel. Now they're tied up in the corner. Puck is freed for Esterbrook, plays it behind the goaltender Upsall. Stretch pass from Kohansky, finds Wyatt Carlson with some speed on the left-hand side, tried to work around the defender Klepak, and a nice play there by the defenseman. Nearly too many men for Hermantown, but they evade the penalty as Hill Murray back the other way. Working into the slot, Samper glove down by Upsall, rebound came out in front. Peterson will play it. Now out to center, Kohansky into neutral ice. Hill Murray sends it back in. Samper, Caden sent it in. It goes off for a change. Esterbrook circles it now. Up for Aaron Evian. Can't quite control it. He's hit along the bench by Ben Miller, the Northeastern commit. And Will Esterbrook owns it now. Back into neutral for Peterson. Hermantown having trouble possessing the puck here. And now working into the zone and back out of the zone is Ingebrigtsen. And Hermantown now on the forecheck. Josh Kelpinen, first man in, forces the turnover. Evian tries to center for Matt Kelpinen, but can't. Now Evian has it again. Will give and go look. It's Kelpinen behind the net. On the backhand, centering pass in front across the crease, comes free into the near side corner. Josh Kelpinen battling for it. He's in there with Joe Luger. And to the far side again for Ingebrigtsen. Sharp pass there for Luger. Now up Ben Miller. Miller through neutral, couldn't quite find Brady Ingebrigtsen. Henry Peterson takes over for the Hawks. Behind his own net, gives it for Drew Nelson. First varsity goal for him last night in the first period. Touch pass, banked up ahead, now sent promptly back into the zone by Graham Greeter. Sophomore defenseman, one of the top defensemen for this Hill Murray squad that lost several defensemen last year to graduation. Big shoes to fill for him. Turned over. Jackson Reeves down low. He's got his man on the far side. Couldn't get it across to him. Taking the other way, Josh Kelpinen for Ford Skida. Skida touched that one a little too far. And over his head, playing it now, is Drew Nelson. Nelson, fluttering puck through there, played with a high stick. That'll be a whistle. And this one will come down into the Pioneers zone.
Nothing lacking in pace again here in the second period. These teams appear to be fairly interested in getting after each other here, as you would expect between two programs of this caliber and quality. But still a game I think is poised at this point. It's waiting for a spark, even though Hermantown has that disadvantage at this point. They're looking to wipe out.
These two teams were the number 1 seeds in their respective class state tournaments last year. Hill Murray in AA, Hermantown single A. Upsall will settle it down. It's poked back around behind by Drew Nelson. Up ahead at the point now, glove down by Henry Peterson, took a shot there. And fighting for it now, Jude Bonin. 3 white jerseys, 3 green jerseys. Comes free to the point for Haug, sends it back in. Karam off the end wall, and now here's Peterson. Henry Peterson cycle, touch pass up ahead, Mason Sunbaum far side. Sunbaum gets the line, sends it in. Freeman and Luger doing battle. Nice hit there by Freeman before being taken down by Luger, losing his stick in the process. Hill Murray back the other way. Far side with some space, Jackson Reeves over the line. Reeves long shot on Upsall, didn't see it, it's still loose in front, and it comes free to Upsall's glove hand side. Hill Murray possesses, rims it back around. Nolan Barker takes over. A precarious rebound there for Garen Upsall. Doesn't hurt him this time. Braden Haug out to center. Far side, Caden Sampere's got some space on the forehand, centering pass loose in front in the crease. Upsall can't find it. Nice save made. Upsall kicked out with the left leg. This one, icing is called and waved off as Matthew Whistler was there. Big hit from Wyatt Carlson, who was going for a change, didn't see the puck behind him. He's replaced by Aaron Evian for the Hawks. Weston Bowman now. Bowman up ahead, Nolan Barker. Barker stretch pass, nice touch pass, now a 2-on-1. View in with Evian, View cross pass, and Evian can't get it home. Missed the net entirely. Kohanski possesses it in the corner. Evian now for Kohanski, sharp angled look, puck loose in front, Evian battling, and Hill Murray clears the zone. Flurry of offensive activity for the Hawks. This one will go the distance. We have icing. 12:26 to go in the second period. Hermantown swarming. Hill Murray clings to a 1-0 lead.
Good chances at both ends. About a minute and a half ago, Bodie Sampere in front, and a good stop by Opsall, who held his ground. And then we see why Jack Erickson is so highly regarded at the other end for Hill Murray. Down and seemingly out of the play, he finds ways to make saves and keep his team in the lead.
Second line out for each group, Kalpinen and Mann lines. Kalpinen wins it back for Will Esterbrooks. Esterbrooks down low, tried to find Evian. Stumbled a bit there. Hill Murray will control Cottingham up ahead for Ingebrigtsen. Going forward now, here's Peterson. This one will actually go the distance and head back the other way. We'll be right back where we started just 14 seconds later.
That saucer pass was not intended to be tipped, and Lucas Mann wound up putting it the length of the ice as Cottingham was trying to stretch pass on the near side to break out, and his centerman's stick got in the way, and it cost him a face-off on the defensive end.
Hill Murray wins the draw back. Played there by Greeter for his partner Cottingham. Now a nice little breakout here. Here's Lucas Mann with some space. Mann tried to find his man, Cottingham. And Matt Kalpinen now behind George Peterson. Peterson on the backhand, wears a hit behind the play from Ingebrigtsen. Sharp angle, look, big rebound into the slot. Puck goes high. Lively rebound, not the first one from Garen Upsall off of that left pad. And it will stay in the zone, deemed to be deflected. We pause.
Nice play by Evian there as the puck came to Lucas Mann about 30 feet out in the slot, and Evian had just enough to throw Mann off balance, and he could not get his full weight behind that shot, and it wound up going out of play.
Face off to the blocker side of Upsall, won by the Hawks. They're going to rim it around. Evian, the man there. Another big hit from Ingebrigtsen, who's really throwing his body around here in this one. Nelson touch pass up ahead for Josh Kalpinen. Now Matt Kalpinen will try to reverse the field, taken over by Joseph Luger. Touch pass near the scorer's box. Puck comes free. Hill Murray's offside. They're going to need to tag up, and they do so successfully. Now here's Henry Peterson leading the charge for the Hawks. Peterson long shot on. Erickson couldn't glove that one cleanly, and it goes high. Hill Murray possesses Haug. Up ahead along the wall for Miller. Miller, nice stretch pass. Brady Ingebrigtsen. Ingebrigtsen on his forehand, sharp angle. Look, rebound loose again in front in the crease, and we're going to have a penalty here. Drew Nelson is going to head to the box for interference.
Yep, they wound up dumping Lucas Mann behind the goal, and we'll get a look at Hill Murray's power play here, 0 for 2, and it's first game yesterday, but now the interference penalty will be assessed. The Hawks will play short as Drew Nelson heads to the box.
Hill Murray 0 for 2 this season. Last year operated at a clip of 26%. It's a very talented group. But again, graduating their top 4 defensemen, you have to wonder who's going to be that power play quarterback, so to speak. But they've had a couple replacements identify themselves in Graham Greener and Landon Cunningham. Great weekends for them. The exchange between them, and now tripped up is Cade Kohansky. We're going to play some 4-on-4 hockey here, folks. Cade Kohansky breaks up the D-to-D exchange, and he would have been off to the races had it not been for Landon Cunningham tripping him up. We'll play a minute 49 of 4-a-side hockey.
Go to the box. Go directly to the box. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. As Cunningham really had no choice there after fluffing the lines on the D-to-D pass. 11 seconds of power play. And now the team skate 4-a-side.
Kohansky inside L on the dots. Kohansky wins it back for Peterson. Lost the handle on it, trying to get to his partner Esterbrooks. And now here's Peterson again for Esterbrooks. Through center, nice little stop and start move on Caden Samper. And back for Peterson. Pass goes too wide for Dallas View to handle, controlled by the Pioneers deep in their own zone. Breaking it up now is Whistler. Now into the zone, Caden Samper bumped off the puck, Will Esterbrooks, and he's going to try to work it back the other way. Harassed by Seidel. Seidel, as it's broken up now for Cade Kohansky. Kohansky, nice move into the slot, backhand look, scores! Cade Kohansky! What a move! Hermantown ties it up. Hermantown 1, Hill Murray 1.
Good skill play. And they can't say it any other than that. Kohansky came across and imposed his will on that play, and he wound up getting the goaltender Erickson leaning in the wrong direction, and he was unable to stop the puck as it went behind him and into the net. So it's a 4-on-4 goal for Hermantown, and they get it tied up at 1-1. Cade Kohansky scoring his second goal of the season.
Second goal of the season, 23rd goal of his high school career. And it's a big one. Hermantown with their answer. It's 1-1 here in Eden Prairie. We got a little over a minute left of 4-on-4 hockey right off the draw. Hill Murray with the break back the other way. Blocker save made by Upsall comes into the corner for Will Esterbrooks. Esterbrooks possesses and breaks it up. We're going to pause and get the goal announcement. And that cannot be correct. I don't think Will Esterbrooks was on the ice. We're going to await a correction, but as of now, it's going to be Esterbrooks from Peterson is the call. And now the puck is free into the corner. Wyatt Carlson took a hit behind the play. He's slow getting to the bench. As we continue to skate 4-on-4 here for another 24 seconds, Weston Bowman is going to send this one the distance for icing. And with 9:26 left, we'll pause. Hermantown has equalized this game at 1.
Sometimes the world of official scoring is strange, and that certainly is one there, but we'll wait for correction on it. But nice play by Hermantown as they show what happens to most teams they play when they have to play with 4-on-4 and they allow this team open ice.
Sundbaum wins the draw back for Henry Peterson. Going to try to break it out here. Peterson's got Josh Kalpman with him, opts to keep it himself. Weaving through on the forehand, drops for Sundbaum. Nice pass to the point, Nolan Barker. Barker sends it on, misses to the glove hand side of Erickson. Now back behind the bench, Drew Nelson out of the box for the Hawks. We're going to have a brief power play. Now Lucas Mann misses the glove hand side of Upsall's. The short-lived Hermantown Hawks power play has now come to an end. Cunningham back on the ice, and we skate 5-a-side. Out to center. A little too eager getting to the zone was River Freeman. Now he's going to intercept this pass after tagging up near the Hermantown bench, taken by Ingebrigtsen. Whistler through space. Into the zone, drops it, Brady Ingebrigtsen. Now for Whistler. Whistler whacks at it, sharp look. Rebound came out. Wyatt Carlson was wide open on the opposing blue line. Now drops it back for Dallas View. 3-on-2, chance one, trailing View shot. Rebound, scores! Dallas View puts the Hawks ahead. Hermantown 2, Hill Murray 1.
Nice play by Wyatt Carlson on that goal. He got the puck ahead at the blue line in the presence of mind to wait for his teammates, and then he just sprung View down the near wing, and Hermantown has the lead for the first time.
Dallas View scored the tying game last night to make it 3-3. Now he puts the Hawks ahead 2-1. Second goal of the season, 19th goal of his high school career for the Penn State commit. Hermantown leads it 2-1 on the Youth Hockey Hub. Off the draw, tied up. View ends up playing it into the zone, taken there by Cottingham. And back out to center, Will Estabrooks. Estabrooks with some space. Plays it up ahead. Kohanski gets a piece of it. On goal for Erickson, who will settle it down before Dallas View could get there. We're going to pause with 8:06 to left. Hermantown, your new leader, 2-1.
So Hermantown in second period so far has already scored 6 times in 2 games. They had that big second period yesterday against Cretin-Derham Hall, so they played only, 25 minutes of second period hockey, and they've scored 6 times in that span.
Tied up on the draw. Free for Dallas View is going to work it into the slot now. Up high for Estabrooks. We're going to pause to get the goal announcement. Now here's Hill Murray with a chance. And the assist will be Henry Peterson getting his first varsity point, and Wyatt Carlson making an impact, his first game of the year. So the goal reads View from Henry Peterson and Wyatt Carlson, 8:35. And tripped up on the play is George Peterson. Hermantown back to the power play.
Caden Samper can't believe it, but he is going to go to the penalty box. And the penalty will be for hooking. So right back to the power play, as you mentioned, and Hill Murray with a chance, with a, not want to say a must kill, but it was one that's certainly important for them, but Samper going to the penalty box.
This is going to be a pivotal 2-minute stretch of this game. This might be a power play that we're going to look back on later in the game, depending on the result and depending on the end game result as well. 7:34 to go here, 2-minute power play for the Hawks. An elite group, but Hill Murray's penalty kill also elite. They play pitch and catch back for Drew Nelson. Matt Kalpinen near side dot for Aaron Evian down low. Evian back up Kalpinen. Kalpinen's going to look. Big pad save made. Erickson rebound comes into the high slot and worked back out to center. Drew Nelson owns it. Nelson with some speed, left-hand side, plays it in. Josh Kalpinen first on the scene. High slot, Barker. Barker, big shot blocked by Jude Bonin. Already had 1 goal here today. Now a huge shot block on the penalty kill. Dubbing in that time, Graham Greeter. Upsall settles it down. He hasn't been too busy this period. And wheeling around to take the puck is Matt Kalpinen for the near side, Nolan Barker. Barker plays it on the backhand to avoid Seidel's stick. And into the zone, holding the zone is Barker, but only momentarily. It's back out to center before Kalpinen takes over. Plays it for Nolan Barker. Barker's going to settle it down, try to establish it, gets inside. Matt Kalpinen, Kalpinen, nice blocker, save made, and now a trickling puck gets through to Erickson. Erickson has had a flurry of activity here in the second period. Conceded 2, but he's still been as sharp as ever. Estabrooks behind the net. Waits for the play to develop. He's going to take it up now. George Peterson for Wyatt Carlson far side. Kohanski waits, and they're in onside. Kohanski settles it for Peterson. High slot, Estabrooks. Now here's View. View harassed that time. Now Carlson winds, fires, sharp-angled shot off the mask of Jack Erickson, who settles it down with the glove. 5:52 to go in the second. 19 seconds left on the power play.
Well, surprise. You got a puck in the mush after coming off the boards. And a nice play by Erickson there to keep his faculties about him and make the save. Still 19 seconds left to kill.
Estabrooks to the point for Peterson. Back up Estabrooks. Estabrooks long shot on. Nice stomach save made by Erickson. And when they say Jack Erickson is a cerebral player, I don't think that's what they meant.
No, not at all. As they say in Slapshot, he hit him in his mind. And it was a good play, but Erickson standing tall there, and he's going to stop that particular shot all day if he sees it 50 feet out and has a good view of it.
9 seconds left on the power play. View plays it near side corner, has a look, and puts it right in the stomach of Jack Erickson.
That one was a little tougher, as Hermantown had a screen set up in front there. View taking a shot, trying to sneak one through, but Erickson had that answer too.
Off the faceoff, Hill Murray wins it, clears, and that is a successful kill for the Hill Murray Pioneers. Peterson plays it for Estabrooks. And out to center, sent back into the zone, only momentarily as Kohanski works it out, falls. He's put down there by Haug, and now Hill Murray back with some speed on the far side. Brady Ingebrigtsen knocked off the puck. George Peterson, bad carom off the end wall. Upsall can't cover. And it's free for Dallas View again. Hermantown really riding their top guys here. Maybe running 2.5 lines, I would wager. And into the zone, Estabrooks takes it. Cade Kohanski near side slot had a defender screening how he ended up making the play. Hill Murray back with some numbers. A little bit of a awkward zone entry there as it was man that couldn't quite get a full handle on the puck. We're going to pause offside here, 4:48.
Ben Miller in just a little bit early on the far side there. As you're right, the puck bounced a little bit on man. So Miller putting himself offside, showing some frustration as he heads to the bench.
Face off, Simon Seidel, Matt Kalpanen. Wings doing battle, and there's a little poke at him from Seidel. They're both going to be dismissed. Matt replaced by brother Josh. Seidel replaced by Sam Pear. Bodie Samper wins it, and Hermantown possesses now. Henry Peterson avoids a big hit and did not gain the line before dumping it in. Icing will come all the way down.
Yeah, a little bit of perhaps a mental mistake there, just making sure that you gain that line before you dump it in. 1-goal games, defensive zone faceoffs can mean a lot, and we'll see if Hill Murray is able to capitalize on that issue here.
Late change for the Hawks as they get Nelson and Peterson off in favor of George Peterson and Will Estabrooks, their top group. Matt Kalpanen is going to be sent out once again for Josh Kalpanen. Tied up on the dot, puck played through, taken away Estabrooks. Out to center, taking Matthew Whistler. Whistler, they're going to be offside there. This one's going to come down to central ice. 4:31 to go here. Hill Murray controlled play for large parts of the first period. Hermantown really answered with some great speed. They found the back of the net twice here in the second. It's 2-1. Hermantown leads. Taking to the near side, Whistler tried to bank it ahead for Caden Samper. Icing waved off as Estabrooks plays it. Up ahead, Josh Kalpanen surveys, finds Aaron Evian streaking on the left side. Big hit delivered, but a nice play by Evian from his knees to enter the zone. Hill Murray takes it back the other way. Bodie Samper into the middle. Now this one will come back out to center. Evian chops at it, goes into the Hill Murray bench. 4:02 to go here in the second.
Starting to see a little bit of physicality here. It's been a good skating game. Not a lot of certainly not the open ice hits, but even the stuff along the boards, teams they're kind of being gentle in the way they're finishing out their checks. But now players like Seidel are starting to throw their weight around a little bit out there, and it make for an interesting third.
Face off neutral ice, Lucas Mann, Dallas View. Very good friends, actually grew up playing AAA hockey together. As Hill Murray owns it up ahead for Mann. Now touch pass up for Ben Miller. Miller works it to the backhand. Nice play there. Drew Nelson, who's had a good tournament. Out to center. Wyatt Carlson pokes it away. He's going to use his speed. He's knocked down. No call coming. Plays up to the slot. Cade Kohanski gets hit, and he is hurting. Loses his glove, loses his stick. He's down behind the play. Hill Murray works into the zone. And Dallas View delivers a hit over there. We're going to check in on Cade Kohanski here momentarily. Hill Murray owns it, far side corner. Working it down low, Ben Miller. Pressure, and Dallas View trying to clear it, ends up sending it into the wall, and we're going to pause here, 3:19.
Let's take a look on the bench here and see what's happening. As
Jeff has broken out his binoculars.
I have indeed, and I look to the right end, I find it much easier.
I see a head sticking up. He's doubled over in pain.
Yeah. Does not look like he is the best of shape. Left off, holding
off
his
the
wrist.
face-off, big shot there. And Evan Gunderson plays it up ahead. Out to center, taken now by Madigan. Ryan Madigan hasn't had a ton of ice time here today. Weston Bowman settles it down. Evan Gunderson here. Gunderson as Barker pokes at it. Jude Bonin into the corner. Barker up ahead, tried to find Gunderson off the skates of Sunbaum into the corner again. Weston Bowman, the first man there. Bowman works it behind Upsall, up for Ford Skite. A backhand clear into the Hill Murray bench. We'll get a face-off here deep in the zone.
Well, must have smarted. Kohanski still down behind the bench for the Hawks, trying to regather himself here. 2:45 to go. He's a player they're going to need. Hopefully we'll be back shortly.
Last year, third game of the season, Hermantown lost Zamplant for the better part of a month and a half. That was a big loss for them. We'll see if, hopefully not as severe for Kate Kohansky, but it's been shown that they can weather that storm. Out to center, Aaron Evian's got a one-on-one with Klepak, works it to his forehand, sends a shot on across the crease, and comes into the corner for Josh Kalpin, rather. The 14s come together. It's Whistler and Evian. As played back in the corner, Josh Kalpinen near our own Tony Scott watching. Behind the net, Seth Klepak trying to break it out, works it back into the far side corner. Up ahead, Jackson Reeves near the bench. Reeves, nice little move there from Jude Bonin, and they're going to call a penalty there. They're going to get Matt Kalpinen, and it's going to be a hook. And I don't know, I could have seen that one going either way. I don't know about you, Jeff, but regardless, Matt Kalpinen into the box at the 14:57 mark for hooking.
Yeah, I agree. It could have gone either way. However, if you look at the penalty sheet, I think you might see why it went towards Hermantown. As I don't suggest that there's any issue there, but 4 of the 5 penalties in the game against Hill Murray to this point, and a 50-50 goes their way with 2 minutes left.
Face off one to the high slot. Held in now. Here's Cottingham. Drops it down for Simon Seidel. Seidel walks the slot, has a shot, and misses to the blocker side of Garen Upsall. Nice play by Wyatt Carlson to force the Pioneers to exit the zone. Seidel owns it once again. Now in deep, Carlson on a beeline to that puck. He's going to force him into the zone and really causing chaos for this Hill Murray power play. Seidel is going to try to flip it in, try to flip it into the zone. Finds the Hill Murray student section. And this one should come out to neutral. 1:30 to go here in the second. Our 4th and final game here of the Champions Cup on the Youth Hockey Hub. Jeff, it's been a pleasure these last 4 games, hasn't it?
It certainly has. Some good caliber hockey. Better caliber people. As you look around, it's a chance to renew some old acquaintances and celebrate the start of a new season. Always fun.
Late change for Hill Murray, so they're going to be penalized and have to go their backup options. Brady Ingebrigtsen tied up on the draw, played back for Peterson. He's going to send it in. Weird little carom off the half wall there. And Hill Murray will have time to regroup here. 1:15 left on the power play. Working into center, Cottingham, right-hand side, collision behind the play between Josh Kalpin and Mason Sunbaum. Long shot sent on and stomached by Upsall. So with 1:10 to go here now, we'll get another face-off deep in the zone and a pretty solid kill so far for the Hawks.
Yes, indeed. And still seeing Kohansky seated behind the bench. Has not moved since he went back there after his injury.
It's a big loss for this Hermantown crew. Although last night without Wyatt Carlson found a way to get it done. They're going to have to do something similar here, maybe an elevated role again for Josh Kalpinen and Evan Gunderson. We're past the 1 minute mark here. High slot taken by Lucas Mann, tries to backhand it down, played there by the other number 16, Mason Sunbaum, and into the high slot again. Crazy little carom off the back there. I don't think Upsall knows where it is, and they're going to call another penalty. The offending party, George Peterson, he's going for hooking. 45 seconds left here in the second. It's going to be a 42-second 5-on-3 for the Hawks, or for the Pioneers, excuse me. So 42 seconds of 5-on-3 hockey, then we'll have 1:18 of 5-on-4. Huge chance for Hill Murray. Face off to the blocker side of the goaltender Upsall. Won by the Hawks. Nice work to hold the zone. Cottingham, high slot, now down for Ben Miller. Miller with a big screen in front from Ingebrigtsen, sends a shot on, nice save, made Upsall. Ingebrigtsen in front of the net through traffic, all 6 foot, one of them in front of the goaltender Upsall. Not the biggest guy either, standing at 6 foot even, but he makes the save.
Well set up there by Hill Murray, as they should with a 2-man advantage.
Hermantown wins the draw yet again. Good work by Wyatt Carlson. Will Esterbrook's jockeying for it, takes a hit, no call. And it's worked behind the goaltender Upsall to his glove hand side, played up now for Ben Miller. Miller, high slot greeter for Lucas Mann, up high Greeter. Greeter's going to wind it up. Good shot block, Will Esterbrook. That's the kind of gritty play you need on a 5-on-3. To the far side, taken by Greeter. Now a Hill Murray player playing without his stick, working it down low. and they miss the net entirely. Hermantown now one skater shorthanded, final last-ditch effort, and it doesn't get through. Good work by the Hermantown defense as they weather their way through a 5-on-3, minute 15 left on the penalty kill for the Hawks as they enter the second intermission leading 2-1.
Well, good period for Hermantown again in the second period. Just showing deep their ability to roll 3 lines at this point is pretty impressive. And we'll see if they're able to kill off the remaining minute 15 of this penalty. And if they do, they're in the catbird seat.
Of note here, Cade Kohansky on the bench, not exiting the ice with the Hawks. They've just handed his gloves to equipment manager Caden Olson, and the entire coaching staff showing some concern there. That's a big blow for the Hawks as we enter the second intermission here on the Youth Hockey Hub. Hermantown 2, Hill Murray 1.
We're with JP Delaney from Summit Orthopedics. How you doing this morning, JP?
Doing great.
Let's just start out really quick. And we know you were a hockey player. We got you up at Colorado College with your collegiate career. But I'd like to go back to your high school career. 3 state tournament trips at Rochester, Lourdes. One of the landmark moments in your hockey career is scoring a game winner in overtime. Just about every kid's dream. Walk through beating Hibbing in the quarterfinals in 2003.
Yes, that was the first game in my senior year, and we went to overtime. I was tied 1-1, I believe. And
were you like beating them badly, or was it a 50-50? What was it like?
I mean, I think we were outplaying them, but it was a pretty close game the whole time. And so in overtime, the first couple minutes, they were dominating us. Our goalie made an unbelievable save where he reached behind his back and saved the puck. And then my goal, it just popped out to the point. The Demon tried to play it, and everyone's dream, it just hopped over his stick. I won the foot race, went down on a breakaway, deke, backhand, all done.
Yeah, all the details, Now, you're a surgeon at Summit Orthopedics. Walk through the extremities, because there's all different. There's spines, there's elbows, there's shoulders, there's knees, there's hips. Where are you operating on your patients?
Yeah, so I'm an upper extremity surgeon, so I pretty much do everything from clavicle down to fingertip. And so anything trauma, joint replacements, nerve stuff, pretty much anything can happen.
Would you say your patient ratio is young, athletic kids? Is it middle-aged weekend warriors, or is it elderly? Where do you find most of your patients?
I'd say the majority of our patients are more elderly, but we get our fair share of weekend warriors. And then we do take care of a lot of young, especially high school athletes that have an injury during some type of sporting event.
Just recently, I've heard a lot of injuries just coming through in the first week of the season. Maybe the bodies aren't ready, whatever. Do you see that is more common these days? You're getting more and more high school players getting injured in hockey and other sports?
Yeah, I think at the beginning of the season, people aren't prepared, or they haven't trained or got their body ready for that type of intensity, especially the game setting. Now, a lot of kids are playing year-round, so we see a lot of overuse injuries too, not necessarily just at the start of the season, but there's beginning of winter is definitely a hot time for injuries, not only for athletes, but also for the people outside who are slipping and falling on the snow.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, last question. You've been doing this quite a while. I love to kind of know what the most rewarding part of your job is at Summit Orthopedics.
Yeah, the most rewarding part is just seeing people able to get back to the functions or activities that they love to do. Whether it's a young athlete who we can get them back to the game and playing the sport that they love, or if it's just an old lady who all she wants to do is be able to reach up and get something down out of a cupboard in her kitchen. Like the smiles that you see when they come back to clinic after you operate on them and they have a successful result are just incredible.
It's so funny. You think of those big moments of a little athlete or a weekend warrior getting back to doing, but sometimes it's almost more important for the elderly person getting back to doing just some easy day-to-day tasks.
Right, absolutely. I mean, we're there for one thing, and that's to improve people's quality of life. And there's lots of different ways that you can do that, but even sometimes the little things make a huge difference.
We're going to be doing a lot of these interviews this season. I hope we get another shot and get to hear some more stuff, maybe some glory days at Colorado College.
Sure. Absolutely, anytime.
JP Delaney, doctor at Summit Orthopedics.
But from the get-go, it was, hey, we're going to be a source of good in the community, and we got the Keystone program that we give away 10% of our profits.
It's such a core value is the philanthropic piece of this, and whether it's Hope Kids or ETS or Whispers of Hope, the Grief Club, basically it's set out that this is something that it's a part of what you do, and everyone has a lot of buy-in and is very excited to do it.
With an injection, we're usually trying to minimize inflammation or block a nerve to prevent it from sending a signal somewhere that causes you pain. So we're not actually masking any of the symptoms or the problem, but we are trying to improve the inflammation or block the pain signal so that people can feel relief.
Brewpub Lots and Matzo pizzas are made in the heart of America's Dairyland, Kaukauna, Wisconsin. Every Brewpub pizza is made with the highest quality meat and veggie toppings. Then bombarded with over half a pound of award-winning Wisconsin mozzarella cheese. Snag a slice of Brewpub pizza at the concession stand or enjoy a whole pizza conveniently located in the frozen pizza section of your local grocery store. Brewpub Lots and Matzo pizzas, the ingredients for a great time.
I think a force for good is kind of just what it sounds like. We wake up every day, go to work, try to do the best we can, but also have in the back of our head that we're going to help people and try to make a difference in people's lives.
While it's important to do things for others, it's how you go about doing that day in and day out. That's the whole thing. That's the whole thing about one team. I don't care who you are in this company. Everybody has an opportunity to make a difference and contribute to the whole piece of the pie of what we're trying to do.
Stress fractures in the foot. Generally, the pain is on the top of the foot. There may or may not be much in the way of swelling, but there's usually tenderness, meaning that if you push on the area, it is sore to touch. So if you've had a change in activity, been doing a little bit more and developed pain that hurts when you walk or certainly hurts more when you try to run on it, that's concerning for a stress fracture. Sometimes those can be seen on x-ray, sometimes it requires an MRI to decide whether or not there is a stress fracture there.
Jack's Cafe has been extending warm hospitality with a focus on great food for almost 100 years. Located in historic Northeast Minneapolis, Jack's has been a great venue for hockey banquets, corporate parties, weddings, and groom's dinners. With private rooms of any size, guests can have that great Jack's experience for 2 or 200. See you at Jack's.
Brewpub Lots and Matzo pizzas are made in the heart of America's Dairyland, Kaukauna, Wisconsin. Every Brewpub pizza is made with the highest quality meat and veggie toppings. Then bombarded with over half a pound of award-winning Wisconsin mozzarella cheese. Snag a slice of Brewpub pizza at the concession stand or enjoy a whole pizza conveniently located in the frozen pizza section of your local grocery store. Brewpub Lots and Matzo pizzas, the ingredients for a great time.
Back here at the Eden Prairie Community Center, ready for the third period, and Hermantown holds a 2-1 lead on Hill Murray. We got some other scores to pass along, Will.
Yeah, Thief River Falls, an upstart team in Section 8, looking to make some noise in a crowded section with Warroad and East Grand Forks. They take down St. Cloud Cathedral 2-0. That's a big win for them over another Class A power. Earlier, obviously, we saw Cretin-Derham Hall take down Eden Prairie 2-1 in overtime in the noon start here. Hibbing Chisholm takes down Minneapolis 4-2 up at Hibbing Memorial, one of my personal favorite rinks in the state.
Love that building.
Beautiful.
Always have.
Orono and Alexandria, a 5 versus 6 matchup in Class A. Orono victorious 8-5 in that one. Otherwise, Detroit Lakes and Kitson County Central in a Section 8. I believe Kitson County is North Dakota, Jeff. Is that correct? Detroit Lakes takes them down 4-3. And then looks like we got Litchfield taking down Morris Benson 7-1.
Some other stuff to pass along here that we're just seeing from the world of Twitter. It's a 4-4 game, White Bear Lake and Centennial. That game is going late. Lakeville South is trailing 2-1 after the first period of their game tonight. So they are up against it. But one of the better teams in the state. It'll be interesting to see how they rebound. Buffalo defeats Delano by a score of 4-1. And everyone's talking here on Twitter now about the end of the Class 4A football championship as New London Spicer scores on a Hail Mary and lateral as time expires to beat Dilworth Glendon Felton.
I got to see that play, Jeff.
I imagine you'll probably see that a few times.
As soon as we get off the air, I'm going to hop on the old Twitterverse and try to find that, because that's going to be a sight.
That is top 10 stuff, I think, if it's the kind of play that I think it is. Minute 15 of power play remaining for Hill Murray. That is how much time is left on George Peterson's penalty as the third period gets underway. Shots were 11-9 in the second period for Hermantown. And for the game, they have 18 shots. Hill Murray was 17. But here's the start of the third period, and the Hawks just over a minute to kill, and they play it all the way down the ice, which is a fine start for them. Controlled there by Cottingham behind the goal for the Pioneers, who will set up their power play.
Of note here, Jeff, Cade Kohansky, we saw him get hurt in the second period. He is not on the bench. I'm told it's a wrist injury, had some trouble with range of motion, and I'm going to presume him out for today's game.
And now the puck shot in by Greeter. It'll go back behind the net, controlled there by Esterbrook. 45 in the power play as Hermantown clears it, and here's a race for it. Wyatt Carlson going after it. Erickson leaves it there and throws it up the middle in his own zone, and just a shade short was Dallas View. Over the line, Hill Murray back. Mann comes to the wall, now plays it behind. And a shot from a sharp angle winds up going behind the goal from Greeter. And it goes out of play with 26 seconds remaining in the power play.
Yeah, this is really where, I mean, old saying, when the going gets tough, tough gets going. Hermantown up against it here. Got to kill off the rest of this penalty. They're without their top returning scorer, Cade Kohansky. And just like yesterday, without Wyatt Carlson, guys are going to have to step up, fill new roles. We saw Josh Kaupinen have a big game yesterday in response to a new role as well.
Of course, they don't have to score to win either, as with 20 seconds to go on the power play, the Pioneers get possession with Klepak. Feeds it over to the left side, Whistler. And now Klepak at the red line, 10 seconds in the power play, and the puck surrendered at the blue line. Caden Sampere backtracks over to Whistler. And now Bodie Sampere had it deflect off him and into the Hermantown bench.
Three seconds left here. Oh, look at that, Jeff. We're in sync.
It's stereo. That's what it is.
Peterson getting ready to get out of the box, and he's a big part of this penalty kill as well. So a really nice job for Hermantown, coming out of the period ready to go, not resting on their laurels and really getting after them here.
Simon Seidel on the faceoff and winds up back in the Hermantown zone. Esterbrook's back for it as the Hawks come back to full strength here in the third period. Played up the near side, and Evian feeds the middle. Here's Esterbrook's over the line, and that will wind up in the corner as he's pushed there by Cottingham. Players from both teams go in for it. Now loose along the half wall, and the Hawks play it down. Esterbrook's feeds it, and it goes behind the net. Evian there plays it towards the right point. Now swung over to the near side for Esterbrook's, and there's a shot saved by Erickson. Puck off the end boards, and the Hawks putting some pressure on here after killing off this penalty, but now Seidel for Hermantown will start down the right wing, and he will play it on in. He goes there, and he'll get there first. Now plays it to the right edge behind the net. Hill Murray starting to buzz a little bit here as Bodie Sampere plays it behind the goal. Caden Sampere with it now. Banks it off the wall to the right point for Klepak. Back now to Seidel, thrown in front, played down with a glove by George Peterson. Now to the near corner, and the Hawks are able to relay it out to center ice, and here's Josh Kaupinen shooting it in. Hermantown will get a change. 2:20 gone in the third period. They lead Hill Murray 2-1. The last game of the Champions Cup as it's played into the Hermantown zone. To the left, Henry Peterson goes after it there, cleared around behind to the far side. And after it is Jackson Reeves for Hill Murray. Leaves a drop pass. They come around behind the net. Centered it right past Madigan. Comes to the high slot shot right on, and the rebound is cleared. Good opportunity there for Braden Hogan. He could not find a way through. Now here's a shot that goes wide of the goal from Reeves. Not a bad shift for Hill Murray at this point. Played with the glove and down. And that's going to be picked up on a hand pass. Or it's offside, I should say. It came out of the zone, and we'll get a face-off. 14:06 to go.
That's a big-time statement shift there for Hill Murray. Coming out of the power play, not really able to get anything going, but they are buzzing here as we skate five aside. And of note on that last zone entry, appeared to be icing, and the Hermantown bench was irate that it wasn't called, and still letting the officials know about it.
Hawks try to break through the middle. View over the line, now carrying on. They pass to the right. Here's a shot, and it goes wide of Erickson from Kohanski.
Look who
who's
it
out
is.
There. Yes.
Now heading back to the bench.
He goes straight back to the bench, as that probably hurt quite a bit. So now here comes Hermantown again. A shot that whizzes over the top from Nelson. Now played down by Henry Peterson into the corner. And now going to run in front of the net, and the Pioneers will pick it up. 13.5 minutes to go. Here's Hogue over the line. His lead pass finds skates, and it comes out to center where Carlson backhands it ahead for Hermantown.
Of note, Cade Kohanski now seated on the bench. I have to imagine that was just maybe a little test run to see if the wrist would hold up, and evidently it is not.
So the puck is backhanded in by Miller from the red line, and Hill Murray chases it down. It comes in front, and Opsal's out to clear it to the right boards for Gunderson. Now Gunderson wins that battle and rink wides to the near side. Evian at center, and he is headed off by Cottingham. Back into the Hill Murray, or the Hermantown zone. It comes back out, and here's Miller playing it in. Greeter trying to find space, and Kaupinen picks it up. That's Matt. Rink wides it back into the Hill Murray end. Now played ahead, Miller, and his lead pass a little too far for Klepak, and it comes back out to center. Here's Greeter with Cottingham out there. They had three defensemen on the ice for a moment, and now it comes out to center and played back into the Hill Murray zone with 12:29 to go in the third period. And Hermantown trying to hold a 2-1 advantage. Pioneers break down the near side. Cottingham cuts towards the middle. Now over the line, feeds it. It's offside as Miller is in too early. And we'll get a face-off at neutral ice with 12:16 left.
The Upsall has been tested here so far in the third. One of the main issues with Upsall that we've talked about earlier, his rebound control. He's a very good positional goalie, very good at getting to the puck, but it's a question of what happens on the second effort. And that might be something to watch here if Hill Murray can. It's been some lively caroms off of his pads if they can get another one on and get someone in as well.
And now play behind the Hill Murray goal. Cleared around on the near side. And let's see here. Going to be picked up finally by Esterbrooks. Throws it for View, loose in front, and Seidel controls for Hill Murray. Pass to the left side for Caden Sampier, who relays it into the zone. And Seidel's going to get there first for Hermantown, or for Hill Murray rather. Now cleared to the near side, and Wyatt Carlson. Rink wides, and Seidel steals it down low, looking to center it, and that time the goaltender held the post and was able to block the pass. Comes to the left point, Whistler, and that doesn't get through. Comes out to center, Whistler again, as he is paired with Klepak. The puck at the red line. Klepak shoots it in. 11.5 minutes now to go. And Whistler can't hold the zone. Here comes Matt Kaupinen back, and he is dispossessed. Here comes Hill Murray back in over the line. Caden Sampier shooting, and a save made as Opsall took that one right in the logo to get a face-off with 11:13 left.
Hermantown's reeling here. They really need to get a big momentum shifting shift I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that just not allowing a goal isn't going to be enough. They're going to have to score one if they want to really put their stamp on this game.
Play behind the net, and going back for it is Nelson in the right corner. He is erased along the wall by Jude Bonin. Comes out to center, and Bonin controls the puck. Leaves it, but it's on the wrong side of Luger, who has to come back for it. And now Hill Murray will go D to D in their own zone. Rink wide pass to the right, and Reeves tips it, but not far enough. Henry Peterson to center, and then Sunbaum smashed in against the boards. Puck comes into the Hill Murray zone and right back out as Henry Peterson controls with 10:40 to go, plays up the middle, and now back deep into the Hill Murray zone to the left where Braden Hogue goes after it. Now Luger behind the goal. Luger carries and gives it to Reeves at center, ran off his blade, loose in the center circle, and now finally Freeman plays it back in the Hawk zone, and it's picked off at center. Here comes Ingebretson over the line, and he is tied up and lost the puck before he could gain the zone. Now still loose in the center circle. It's kind of river hockey at the moment as it's played back in, and Erickson will claim it at the right edge. He goes back behind the goal now for Cottingham. Landon Cottingham goes behind the net for Luger. And Ingebretson in there to try to help him out. It's a good forecheck here by the Hawks as Freeman goes behind the net. Looks to center it. It's loose, and a goaltender down. And River Freeman with a nice shift there for Hermantown. It's played all the way down the ice. And going back for it now is Bowman in the left corner. He gave up the puck with less than 10 minutes to go. Finally, it's played back out to center ice, and Greeter waiting for teammates to get onside, then lost possession. And here comes Hermantown back. Freeman over the line, leaves a drop pass. Shot by Carlson is over the top. Long Karam, and it's picked out. Here comes 2-on-1 for Hill Murray. Ingebretson over the line, closes, and a shot is saved by Opsahl with the blocker pad off to the right boards.
That's a big time save by Opsahl. Barker chose to stay with the other guy that was in with Ingebretson and leaves the shot for Opsahl, who makes the save.
Hawks gain possession. And here's a drive, and that is by Greeter that's deflected over the glass and out of play, and that might have caught River Freeman as he heads to the bench.
You want to talk about a momentum-changing shift for one player in particular. River Freeman on that last possession makes things happen. Zone entry, right-hand side, makes the pass and then is tangled up physically, finishes his check away from the play, but a big-time hit for River Freeman. He's really could be an X factor here for the Hawks down the stretch.
Face-off controlled by Hill Murray. And now fed to the left point, Whistler. To sneak one through, and it's loose at the right edge. Finally picked up by Esterbrooks. And cleared back behind the goal. George Peterson there in the corner with 8:53 to go in the third period. Hermantown leading at 2-1. That they dig it out behind the goal and then lose it right away as Esterbrooks feeds on the far side. Pass to center ice is picked up by Matt Kalpin and loose in the circle. Seidel will shoot it in for Hill Murray. Goes behind the goal. Esterbrooks there, comes out the far side, feeds the circle, and now a nice steal by Seidel. He closes, he shoots, and a save made by Opsahl off to the left boards. And now loose in front of the goal. Finally, the Hawks will gain possession and bring it to center ice. Chopped out of the air by Whistler. And Klepak, he sends his man away on the right. Seidel tries to step around to check, plays it in deep and heads for the bench as the Pioneers change. Long pass down the left, and that's going to hop everyone as Evian could not control it. No icing, though. He centers, hits the back of the net, gets it back. And now Evian drops it to the right point. Nelson back to Evian along the wall. And back to Nelson. He takes the shot. That's blocked by Madigan. Follow-up shot, save Peterson. Erickson, as it comes out to center ice. Now two Hill Murray players collide heavily. Madigan with his teammate Mann and over the line. Come the Hawks. Puck is laying there. Finally, the Pioneers clear it, but it comes out and back in offside as Evan Gunderson brings it in with then trapped.
Chaos there with the Madigan collision and open ice. That kind of hit, usually you see two players of opposite colored jerseys at that time. Little miscommunication leads them to blow each other up, so to speak. Now late change for the Hawks is going to be allowed as they're going to put River Freeman with the top line to replace Kohanski.
Well, based on his play today, that's certainly understandable as it's picked up at center by Klepak, and Hermantown is back-checking as aggressively as they forecheck here. Coming over the line, here's Wyatt Carlson fanning on it in the circle. Puck runs up the slot, and it's poked out. Here's a race for it, and it's Mann in control for Hill Murray. Tries to duck under the check of Nelson, who stayed with him, and the puck comes out to center ice, and here's View shooting it on in. It'll come right on to Erickson, and he will hold it for a face-off with 7:13 left.
Earlier today, we might have seen Leo Miller choose to play that puck. Pretty aggressive, the Cretin-Durham Hall goaltender, with how he chooses to play it. Erickson wisely decides just to cover up. Had pressure there from River Freeman.
Face-off coming up in the Hill Murray zone. We have 7:13 to play in regulation time. A 2-1 game. Our first game also ended 2-1 today. Cretin-Durham Hall over Eden Prairie. And now from the draw, it's controlled in the right corner, goes behind the net, and the Pioneers will try the middle this time. Ingebretson, as he falls, plays it ahead, and over the line come the Pioneers. Man, and that's offside. So we'll get a face-off with 7:01 to go.
Jeff, a lot of great additions this year to the Youth Hockey Hub event schedule. We got Friday Night Ice that you are the host of, along with Mike Greenlay, also on the Youth Hockey Hub social networks. The Up North Report, hosted by yours truly, every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights on the Youth Hockey Hub Twitter feed. Look forward to a good episode here tonight. A lot of action up in Section 7 and 8.
And here's a shot right on from outside the line by Cottingham, and we'll get a save.
Upsall wanted to play that one, but a quick whistle there would have played it back for his defense, and instead we're going to get a face-off to his glove side.
How do you like those reports?
I've thoroughly enjoyed them. You know, really you get to learn a lot. Section 7 and 8 often kind of skimped over in media coverage, and it's been an enjoyable experience so far.
You wouldn't think Section 7 would be skipped over with the Hawks being what they are, but, you know, the Twin Cities media, it's understandable, I suppose. Oh, Cottingham goes in heavily against the boards, and that is a problem as Cottingham has not gotten up. And a scrum here now. Cottingham is down, and he's up now and not happy, but he got bowled into the boards head first, and that's going to be a penalty, potentially a major penalty here with 6:44 left.
And that's a play, too, where you know Matt Kalpman's going in to make a play on the puck, but almost looked as if maybe Cottingham's, and now there's going to be lengthy discussion about this.
I would think so.
And that's a tough go.
Now, go ahead.
I would imagine a major's coming. Granted, he's trying to make a play on the puck, but just the way that he goes into Cottingham, again, not with malicious intent, but, and there it is, Kalpanen with a major that's going to come at 10-16.
Now, if it's checking from behind, there's also a misconduct attached to that.
And that would also carry a suspension, I believe, for Kalpanen, being that it occurred this late into the game.
Right, but he's seated still on the penalty bench, which would indicate to me that might not be the case.
Pat Andrews pleading his case on the Hermantown bench with some supplemental information from national champion Chad Huddle of the UMD Bulldogs. And looks like they've got the film actually up on the iPad, and they don't like what they see.
Well, the contact's from behind and the head went into the boards. And now we're having another Hermantown player going over, which is Kohansky, and that would mean another 10. I would expect that to serve a misconduct here as well. But Kohansky would be the one with the injured wrist, certainly.
Makes the most sense to have him serve it.
So a 5-minute major power play for Hill Murray with 6:44 to go. Hermantown clinging to a 2-1 lead. And my guess is that's 5 and 10 if there's two players in the box. I'll wait for Robin Cook's call on it here. And the puck comes to the right point. Here's Greeter over to Cottingham. Closes, fires, and it deflects over the top of the cage. Esterbrooks clears.
And I don't know about you, Jeff. I didn't really hear that announcement.
I didn't either.
I don't know where Robbins went, but he's no longer with us here at the Champions Cup.
And now it's played ahead. Hawks will clear it into their zone. My assumption is checking from behind and a misconduct, as there's two players in the box at 10-16. And over the line, it's played around in the Hermantown zone, chasing after it. Caden Samper in the near corner. Up the wall it comes, and Seidel takes a hit in against the boards. And the puck's going to be pinned there. Dug out by Cottingham. Feeds it over to the left. Greeter, near circle shot. And it doesn't get through as Bodie Samper made his bid. It goes behind the net. 4 minutes to go in the power play. And now to the far wall. Seidel has it there. It's picked up and now fed across to the near side. Cottingham. And Cottingham tried to sneak one through. And Opsahl wound up making a save with a stick. Comes back to the left point. Now here's Greeter closing. Greeter shoots, blocked, rebound for Madigan in front, dishes off. Here's a backhanded shot, rather, by Bodie Samper.
Caden Samper just went to the bench holding his face, and I didn't see what happened there. Maybe a stick caught him up high, but he's doubled over on the bench in pain. Big loss for Hill Murray.
Now here's Ingebretson through center. Feeding it ahead. Miller over the line. Miller cuts to the slot, shoot, save, rebound, and hit the outside of the cage as Ingebretson had about an open side and wound up putting it wide of the goal. Greeter at the right point trying to hold the zone, and it's loose to the wall. Now it's dug out by Ingebretson, tries to come forward, down low to Ben Miller. Now back to Greeter, he can't hold it. Still 3 minutes to go in the power play. 4:49 to go here in the third period. 2-1 for Hermantown. And now over the line, it's played ahead by Greeter on the backhand, and they're onside. Played down to the far wall, and Greeter digs it out. Cottingham diving to hold it in, but the Hawks pick it up and clear.
You want to talk about adversity for this Hermantown squad, not only without Cade Kohansky here and fighting a major penalty. Matt Kalpnen was their #1 penalty killer last year for Hermantown.
Now played up the near side and shot in by Ingebretson, played down behind the net now, and Henry Peterson was to the far side. Pioneers get it with 2:30 to go in their power play. And now at the left point, Klepak is bowled over, comes to the circle. They try to work in front, skate to stick, and unable to control it for the Pioneers was Greeter, and now it's cleared all the way down the ice. 2:18 left in the major.
Very effective penalty kills so far from Hermantown, limiting chances from distance as well as close in tight. We'll see if they can carry this on for the next 2 minutes plus.
Pass to the left side, and the Hawks are going to break that up and play it back in. 3:45 in the contest. 2 minutes left of major power play time remaining, and Hermantown killing this penalty quite well, thank you very much, as Henry Peterson plays it back to George Peterson.
The brothers have a little pitch and catch.
Now here's Whistler at his blue line, feeding it to the left, and that's not going to find Bodie Samper. Played back deep into the Pioneer zone to the right. 3:22 to go. Minute and a half of power play time remaining. Simon Seidel will try to skate it out, and Josh Kaplan wound up knocking it off his stick. Along the far boards, Whistler there, and back to Seidel in the left corner. Minute 24 to go, and Hill Murray will take it behind their net. They have just over 3 minutes now in regulation. At center ice, it's played ahead and tipped to the blue line. Miller can't keep it there, and it's shot all the way back down. 1:10 to go, and now it's almost time to start watching Erickson here as Seidel starts out. Over the line he comes. Seidel with 2:45 left, takes it behind the net, swings around, and now banks it off the boards. Here's Miller feeding to the left point. Whistler closing in, takes the shot, it's blocked, follow up in front, and it's steered off to the boards, and finally cleared past the defender Whistler and all the way down the ice. 45 seconds left, and the Hawks are just about to get a major boost if they can kill off this power play. 5 minutes for Hill Murray, and nothing to this point on the board as they come over the line. Ingebretson takes it behind the net. Ingebretson threw it in front. It comes up the slot past Whistler and back into the Hill Murray zone with 25 left.
Great reactionary play by Wyatt Carlson. On a knee, sees the puck coming. Nice little stick clear.
Cleared behind the net, 15 seconds left in that power play. Hawks clear but not out. Whistler fires, save, Opsahl. Rebound in front, cleared between the point men and all the way back. And that will just about do it for the 5-minute major penalty.
Jack Erickson's going to be headed to the bench here soon. We'll wait for a signal from Coach Lechner.
1:45 to go. Puck comes to the blue line, and Hermantown has killed off the 5-minute major, and they clear it all the way down the ice. That'll be icing. I would expect the timeout coming momentarily here.
With
1:35 to go, and
Bill
they're
Lechner
already signaling for it. So timeout coming for the Pioneers with 1:35 left.
Jeff, that's not a terribly dissimilar situation to what we saw yesterday. Hill Murray against Eden Prairie, they had a major penalty go against Brady Ingebretson in the late going. Granted, that one came with about 4.5 left, but they had to fight that at the end of their game. Now Hermantown is the one with the major penalty, and with a minute 35 here left, that is, no pun intended, that is a major penalty kill for the Hermantown Hawks.
It certainly is. No two ways about it. 1:35 to go, and we'll get a chance for these teams to rest their top players, which we'll assume we'll see over the last 90 seconds as we look now at the Hermantown bench on the right, and it's been a solid weekend for them regardless of how this comes out. Certainly that nice win over Cretin-Durham Hall yesterday, and now poised to knock off Hill Murray. They can hold on for 95 seconds.
A lot of questions answered for the Hermantown Hawks coming in. You lose the Plants, you lose Hanson, you lose a great graduating class. The question, who's going to step up and be those top guys? Also, who's going to fill in with the depth? Not even to mention, you've got two great goaltending performances with both Garen Upsall today and Dane Calloway last night. also responding to adversity. Down 3-1 early yesterday, as well as down 1-0 today. Big second period adjustments for this Hermantown squad. And if this score holds, they'll be 2-0 in the Champions Cup for the second year in a row.
Well, we'll get the face-off to the goaltender's left. Erickson is off, and we talked about Jack Erickson being one of the best goaltenders in the state. Let's not slate away Garrett Opsahl as a senior. The numbers that he's had, and he's had a strong game today. 1:35 to go. Face-off to the left of the goal. Seidel on, and it comes up the slot. Nelson to the right point, and this is Klepak. Plays it across. 6 against 5. 1:27 to go. Klepak at the right point. Flattens, fires, and it's deflected wide by Esterbrooks. It comes to the near boards with 1:20 to go, and there's a clear. It's held in by Klepak at the right point. Seidel trying to help him out. And now it's picked up and banked out to center. Here's a race for it, and Greeter will get there. He reverses. And now it's loose, played down the left side. Here comes Hill Murray back with 1 minute to go. And they try to work in front and muscle it in front through Lucas Mann. Now it comes across, and here's Klepak firing. That goes off the traffic. And Hermantown defending stoutly here as it's cleared all the way down the ice. And no icing. Going to be picked up behind the net, and Dallas View ridden in against the boards by Greeter with 40 seconds to go. Hill Murray starts out one more time. Here's Seidel through center. He's over the line. Seidel takes the shot, and a save made by Opsahl in a faceoff with 32 seconds left.
Jeff, yesterday we talked a lot about statements. It was a statement win for Hill Murray losing their guys and coming back against a good EP team. Statement win for Hermantown coming back. Today's word of the day, I'm going to go with grit. Both these games, tremendous amount of grit early on. Cretin-Durham Hall had to get some depth scoring from Nate Charlton. Hermantown battling some grit here today. Let's see if they can hold on for this last 32 seconds.
All right, Ingebrigtsen is now tied up there with View, and he is asked to move back. Face-off comes right between the point men and comes all the way out to center, so Hill Murray has to vacate. And now the puck is picked up at center by Carlson, and he scores into the empty net. And Hermantown is going to win this game 3-1. And Wyatt Carlson, in his first game back, scores his first goal.
Welcome back to high school hockey. Wyatt Carlson firing up the bench on his way over. That's a big-time win for the Hermantown Hawks. 2-0 for the second consecutive year, and another huge win over a AA power Hill Murray.
Should be an unassisted goal here. It's 3-1 with 21 seconds to go, and that has people heading for the exits here. But a quality win for Hermantown, and it appears as though the King is far from dead as it comes to the near side and shot in by Bowman. Well, we can hear that. And they are going to give an assist to Peterson on that goal at 16:38. 14 seconds to go, and a face-off coming up to the right of the Hill Murray goal.
Now, Jeff, I have a hard time believing we're not going to hear from Garrett Opsahl after the game.
I think you're probably right.
And he is quite the character, so we should be in for a good interview.
Now cleared ahead, and here's Ingebrigtsen for Hill Murray. 5 seconds to go. Tried to backhand one across. Klepak comes in at the half wall, throws it in front. Save and a rebound chance for Blissenbach, and that's it. The game is over, and Hermantown has defeated Hill Murray by 3-1.
Talk about a weekend for Hermantown. Coming down from the 2-1-8, staking an early claim to defend their Class A title. It's a big-time win.
Now we'll wait for final shots here, but boy, a terrific win for Hermantown as they, again, come from behind. They allow the first goal, and it doesn't seem to faze them as they come back and defeat the Pioneers by 3-1. Teams will shake hands here, and then Tony Scott will have an interview with our player of the game.
It was a year ago yesterday, I believe. A year ago tomorrow, actually, Hermantown took down Hill Murray 4-1 here at the Champions Cup. Granted, that game was in St. Louis Park. But another big win for the Hawks over a very well-coached, very talented Hill Murray squad. And this Hill Murray squad, it was a good weekend for them as well. Big win yesterday. They played great team defense really all weekend. 2 goals before the empty netter here today. Jack Erickson solid again today, not quite as dominant as he was yesterday. But Hill Murray, nothing to hang their heads about.
Goals in the second period. One Esterbrooks and one for View. And Garrett Opsahl is being announced as the player of the game, as you correctly mentioned, and it's the head-up goaltending duel that, if you had talked about it beforehand, I would have thought that it would perhaps be an edge to Erickson with the reputation, but in the end, Opsahl played better, and they win the game.
Announced with 28 saves as well, so that's 29 shots for Hill Murray, but yes, a great game for Garen Opsahl.
And now Tony is down at center ice, so we will wait for him to make pleasantries there with Garen Opsahl, and we'll have a word from the player of the game for the Hermantown Hawks. Tony's saying his piece, though, so we're going to certainly let him do that. And when he's ready, we will begin. All right. Now I think we got it figured out. Let's go down to Tony and Garen Opsahl.
We're with Garen Opsahl, makes 28 saves and a 3-1 win over Hill Murray. Congratulations, a big win, Garen.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, let's go through the 2 wins this weekend. What does this do for you guys to kick off the season, knocking off 2 powerhouses like Creighton and Hill Murray?
It's huge. You know, we had a little question marks coming in the season, missing some guys. We came out here, 2 big dubs against 2 huge teams. It's huge for our confidence, huge for us going forward.
You said the word 2 a few times there. I'm going to talk about duos here. You and Dane Calloway. Are you guys the best goalie duo in the state, or is there someone better out there?
No question us. We compete every day in practice, make each other better. That's what makes us the best duo. There's nothing else like it.
I've never seen anything like it. It's so good. All right, last question. You guys are the defending state champions, #1 in our poll. What are you guys going to have to do? What are some of the things you've seen it before? What are you going to have to do to get better and win it again?
We're going to have to stay healthy. We're just going to have to go out, compete day in, day out, and then at the end of the season, clutch up.
Clutch up. This guy clutched up today. Garen Opsahl, YHH player of the game.
All right, thanks very much,
Done.
Tony.
Good work.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
As Garen Opsahl, the player of the game with 28 saves. A little fist bump there for Tony with a blocker pad. Will, your thoughts on a strong win for your Hermantown Hawks?
Like Garen Opsahl said, just got to clutch up. That's what it comes down to here. Hermantown last night made a statement. Today, gritty. It was a grit win for this Hermantown Hawks squad. Came out, slow start in the first, conceded an early goal. Second period, got it back, fought through adversity with both the major penalty and losing Cade Kohansky. We're going to hope he's all right. But a big, big set of wins for the Hermantown Hawks as they look to defend their Class A state title.
And our other game today, of course, is an overtime contest. Cretin-Durham Hall winning for the first time this season. They defeat Eden Prairie 2-1. So the host team here, the Eagles, lose a pair of 2-1 decisions. And a team that I think is going to figure it out over time here. But for now, finding scoring punch is going to be key for them. And the Raiders winning for the first time this season. A game they needed to win today, I think. And they did just that in a way that will be helpful for them. All right, that is going to do it for us here from the Champions Cup 2022 here from the Eden Prairie Community Center. Will, thank you.
Thank you,
Pleasure
Jeff.
to see you as always.
This has been a wonderful weekend. Always love calling games with you.
All right, we'll see you over the holidays, I'm sure, as we get ready for more high school hockey action. You've enjoyed the 2022 Champions Cup here from the Eden Prairie Community Center on the Youth Hockey Hub.